Chapter 4. Go time, the text read, and suddenly Alia was flying around her room. She and Nino had been waiting nearly 4 days for their chance to act, and of course her notebook chooses now to go missing. The frantic teen stuck an arm blindly under her bed, groping around before moving to the next plausible spot. Gotcha! Alia yelled triumphantly, wrestling the beat-up journal from between two filing cabinets. She took a moment to leaf through the pages, confirming her notes were still in there. Everything had to go perfectly if they wanted any chance of possibly unmasking Ladybug and Cat Noir. From the street running beside her house, Alia heard the telltale ringing of a familiar bike horn. "I'm coming," she announced, poking her head out of her bedroom window to shoot Nino a sheepish smile. "Tick-tock, homegirl. You waste any more time and they'll be gone before we even get a chance to go up to them," he responded, absently spinning the pedals of his bike with anticipation. The pair of them had spent the past few days keeping an ear to the ground about information on monster attacks. They had missed their chance yesterday, arriving at the scene just in time to watch Paris's renowned heroes swing away. Not wanting a repeat performance, Nino had been listening to the closed-circuit police channel through his earphones all morning. 15 minutes ago he finally heard what he was waiting for, shooting a quick text to his conspirator before booking it over to her house. Alia blew out the front door, tossing her bag into the basket affixed to the front of Nino's bike before heaving herself onto the same pegs she had been standing on since they were 8. "You're getting heavier," Nino grumbled softly, earning him a sharp slap on the back of the head as he began pedaling. "Maybe you're just getting weaker," Alia shot back, grasping his shoulder with one hand while the other furiously scrolled through the Ladybug hashtag on Twitter. Reports of an incident near Versailles had been surfacing, blowing up over the last few minutes as people live-tweeted the action. Alia kept refreshing the page, wind whipping through her hair as Nino swerved around a corner. "Pick up the pace. It looks like things are really beginning to heat up." "Here's an idea. How about you pedal for once?" "Absolutely not. I'm the brains of the operation." "Are you insinuating that I'm the muscle?" "That's hilarious." Their banter trailed off as a hideous shriek echoed across the empty street. The pair rounded the corner, skidding to a stop in the large concrete plaza in front of the chateau's facade. There was a large crowd gathered, all of them eager to see Paris's crime-fighting duo in action, despite the fact there was a large spider-like monster crawling its way across the clearing. Alia hopped down from the bike, yanking her backpack onto her shoulder and booking it towards the palace. Nino just steps behind her. With a whoosh of exhilaration, she spotted Ladybug, wielding what looked like a giant pair of polka-dotted scissors. Cat Noir was sprinting across their enemy, shouting taunts as he dodged the tangled webs shooting from the creature's cross-knitting needles. "Hold this. I want to get some pics for the lady blog," Alia said breathlessly, shifting her items to the boy beside her and unlocking her phone. "We aren't here for the lady blog," Nino moaned in exasperation, watching his friend contort her body to snap some shots of the action going on before them. "We need to get our act together before—" The monster dissolved in a bubbling purple froth, leaving a very confused-looking old woman in its place. Nino yanked Alia up by the arm, both of them sprinting over as they watched Ladybug toss her cleansing artifact into the air. All around them, the atmosphere burst in a brilliant display of lights, cracks, ceiling, mortar flying back into its proper place, and lampposts unbending themselves as the healing magic erased all signs of the struggle. "They're leaving!" Alia cried between gulps of air, the duo's feet pounding the sidewalk as they desperately tried to reach their targets. "We won't let them," Nino huffed back, keeping his eyes trained on the black and red figures making their way across the rooftops. Nino slipped his hand once more into Alia's grasp, weaving them through a complicated maze of side streets. After about a minute into their chase, Alia stopped up short, yanking Nino around a corner with a gulp. The two peeked around from their hiding place, watching as Ladybug and Cat Noir slid down into a sunny but secluded alleyway. "Got him," Alia whispered breathlessly. She took a moment to straighten her clothes, brushing the hair from her face as her heart threatened to beat its way out of her chest. "Here goes nothing," she thought, snapping open her notebook as she rounded the corner. "Ladybug, Cat Noir, what an unlikely coincidence to see you here." The heroes froze up at her greeting, eyes widening as they took in the two teens striding towards them. Ladybug seemed especially frazzled, brushing her bangs quickly downward in an attempt to further mask her face. Interesting. "Oh, hello. Allie, was it?" the polka-dotted crusader ground out cautiously. "Alia." Sneaky, sneaky. Right, of course. "And this is my boyfriend Nino," Alia said flippantly, shoving the suddenly very confused boy in front of her before wrapping an arm around his waist. Again, both heroes looked visibly shocked before they carefully tailored their expressions in ones of mutual pleasantry. Cat still looked like he was hiding a grin, though. Very, very interesting, Alia thought, elbowing the boy beside her with an incline of her head. Play along, her expression read, thankfully not going unnoticed by her boyfriend. "Oh, yeah, that's me," Nino replied, waving politely. "Nice to meet you, Ladybug. Cat Noir." Cornered as they were, the masked heroes returned the greeting stiffly. So, listen," Ladybug began, eyes darting around desperately for an escape route. "It was really nice seeing you two, but we really need to get going. Right, Cat?" "Hmm?" her leather-clad companion quipped, eyes still never having left the side of Alia's arm wrapped around Nino. "Oh, yeah, we gotta do hero stuff." Of course, Alia said wryly, taking a step closer. "I was just hoping to ask a few questions before you leave. It would really mean the world to my bloggers if I got a joint interview with Ladybug and Cat Noir." "I really don't think just 3 questions is all she's got for you guys," Nino cut in, flashing a genuine smile that seemed to melt Ladybug's resolve. Cat turned to her, shrugging his shoulders in a gesture of, "Why not?" "I think we can swing that, but please try and be quick," he supplied, flinching a bit at the curious beep emitting from his partner's ear. Ladybug looked about ready to melt into the sidewalk, Alia noted before drawing her attention back to the task at hand. "Perfect. Okay, my first question. How do you manage to keep your identities secret?" The pair stiffened. Composing themselves within seconds, the boy was the first to respond. "Well, the costumes certainly help. Plus, we aren't exactly the same people you see before you when we're living our civilian lives," he answered slowly, eyes flicking to his partners to confirm he had answered correctly. What he said?" Ladybug choked out. Alia made a show of scribbling something down in her notebook, mind whirring at a mile per minute. She could sense the anticipation mirrored at the boy beside her, his face trying and failing to remain neutral. As planned, he asked the next question. "So what would you do if, say, your best friends found out your secret?" Nino drawled out. "Assuming they don't already." Cat launched into a fit of dramatic coughing, Ladybug reacting to the question with a brief look of fear before soldiering on. Alia couldn't help but notice she avoided looking at her as she answered. "Well, I would hope if they did somehow find out," Ladybug let her eyes flicker up for just a second, "that they would be accepting, that they would realize we kept the truth from them for their own well-being." "And I would want them to know that we wear the mask to protect ourselves as well, to preserve some measure of privacy," Cat added, glancing at Nino meaningfully before rubbing the back of his neck. Alia and Nino let out synchronized breath, both of their brains processing at the speed of light. Was this a mistake? She worried suddenly, watching the bewildered expressions on the faces of the two people she was now almost 100% sure were Adrian and Marinette. Perhaps a frontal assault wasn't really the nicest tactic. Another beat pierced the weighty silence. The heroes stiffened, readying themselves to bolt. "We really need to—" "No, please, just wait," Nino interrupted once more, shoving a suddenly conflict-ridden Alia forward. "We have just one more question." Alia swallowed her guilt, slowly closing her journal and affixing an undecipherable expression across her features. She faced the two head-on, stepping closer and closer until she finally chirped out casually. "So, how do you think you did on Miss Duchamp's history final?" If it were possible, the hero's eyes got wider. Nino shook his head playfully, joining a grinning Alia to stand just feet from the pair. See, we think we did pretty good, but you two have always been better at that subject than us. Silence fell in the alleyway, the four teens all holding their breath in anticipation. Alia wanted to reach out to Marinette, to hug her, and assure her that she could never be mad at her best friend, but she remained curiously rooted in place. The weight of the situation pressed down on the ground until Cat exploded into a burst of green light, leaving a violently cackling Adrian in his place. "Bro!" he exclaimed through the gut-shaking laughter, striding forward to clap hands with Nino, who had now also joined in with his friend's contagious chuckling. "You aren't as slick as you thought, man. Hey, come on, it took you long enough." Ollie watched the boys playfully jab at each other, acting as if the entire fabric of their relationship hadn't just been altered. With a flash of trepidation, she turned back to the girl still standing in the corner of the alley. Alia saw Ladybug eye her with doubt, gut clenching with fear for just a minute before the expression changed. This time it was Marinette looking at her, teeth working at her lip as she gave a small wave. Before she knew what she was doing, Alia pitched forward, gathering Ladybug up with a giggle. Any sort of malcontent she might have felt when she first made her discovery faded away, leaving only a sense of wonder at just how incredible her best friend was. As she held her tight, Alia felt a magical prickle make its way down the girl's body, pulling back to watch the spotted costume melt away. "Hi, Alia," Marinette whispered tentatively, tucking a bit of hair behind her ear before peering up at the taller girl. "Hi, Marinette," Alia responded, still shaking her head in wonder. "Or should I call you Ladybug now?" Her friend snorted. "I guess either would do, but Marinette is probably your best bet around school and stuff." "I would say so. Wouldn't want anyone else finding out my insanely awesome best friend and the insanely awesome Ladybug are in fact the same person," Alia said with a wink, causing relief to flood Marinette's features. "You mean you aren't going to tell anyone?" Alia looked at her with shock, gut clenching as she realized Marinette was truly worried that she would tell the world her secret. Oh gosh, she still thinks this is for the lady blog. "What? Absolutely not. I would never out you without your consent, girlie." At her words, Marinette seemed to release the tension in her shoulders, setting against her best friend with a relieved giggle as she glanced over to where the boys still stood chatting. Alia looked over as well, watching the two bros recount stories of all the time Cat Noir had done something sick. "Geez, no wonder you killed at dodgeball," Nina was saying, gesturing for Adrian to walk with them over to the girls' side of the alley. He turned to clap Marinette on the shoulder. "You're an actual beast, Mary. Who would have thought the shy girl who sits behind me in homeroom was capable of destroying a 50-foot spider?" "I don't know. It felt more like a 60-footer to me," she responded slyly, causing the group to crack identical grins. Alia noticed Adrian's gaze lingered on Marinette's, the two exchanging a complicated look filled with something beyond relief. There was still more to be discovered here. "So what I'd like to know is just how long you two have been acting like complete strangers around each other at school with messing around together at night," Alia drawled out suggestively, inciting twin blushes to crop up on the faces of her unmasked friends. "Yeah, well, since when have you two been boyfriend and girlfriend?" Marinette shot back shakily, eyeing Nalia and Nino while pointedly avoiding the gaze of the blonde boy to her left. "Oh no, now you're just avoiding the question. You know that was a lie, but you're trying to avert my attention. Well then, how about you, Agrest?" Alia swiveled to stare him down. "You want to tell me just how long you've been sneaking out with my best friend in your kinky leather catsuit?" Adrian gave a sputter, crossing his arms defiantly as Marinette just buried her head in her hands with a groan. Nino was laughing again. "For your information, we had no clue about each other until just a few days ago." "Wait, during dodgeball?" "Yeah." "So that's why Marinette was freaking out when we were in the shower," Alia said absent-mindedly, earning her an elbow from the snickering Marinette and two equally wide looks from the boys across from her. "Wait, what?" This has been Tandem by Bully Squattus, read to you by Trevosh on YouTube. This is from the series called Fanfic Fridays. Please join us next Friday for a new fanfic. I would like to note, and this is also noted down below in the description, please check for more details, that fanfic authors work very hard to create their work that we can freely consume. Do be sure to drop a kudos and a comment on their page down below. Doing so helps ensure that they know you enjoy their work, motivating them to keep doing it. Thank you again, and if you liked my voice, please drop a comment down below as well. Have a nice day.